Hi everybody, welcome back to Regina's World. I'm not liking how I'm looking right now, so I'm trying to get over it. So uh today's story time is gonna be about drugs. I'm doing two separate ones today, but they're both gonna have something to do with drugs. One, I'm going to talk about a family member, and then I'm also going to talk about myself experimenting with drugs, what drugs I've tried. This one in specific is going to be, I'm going to talk about my brother, and the next one I'm going to talk about myself. But I just felt the need to, since I don't really hold any punches, I tell all of I talk about everybody. Nobody's really safe in my story times, but this one kind of hits close to home because it's very, very sad in a sense. So I just wanted to, send some encouragement to people who's going through this and who got family members who's going through it, who has some kind of drug problems of their own, and I just wanted to talk about it. And if you guys have experienced any kind of situation like this, let me know in the comment section. Also, let me know by hitting the subscribe button and let me know that you support what I'm doing and what I'm talking about. So we're gonna get right into this video, and let's talk about it. Let's talk about different types of drugs and what I've known. So, like, comment, share, and subscribe right before we get into the story, because if you made it this far, you can hit the subscribe button. Just hit the button, ding, and then we can finish with the video. So I'll give you a moment. All right, so now let's get into the video. All right, peeps. Well, my brother, I won't say which brother, but I have two brothers, and this one in particular has had a drug problem for a while, and I've always had some kind of soft spot for him because I have two brothers. I have one who is very masculine and very take charge, and he's the leader of the family in so many different ways. And then he don't really need much help. He's a more dominant personality. You go to him if you need something. He barely ever comes to you. He only comes to you if he really needs something. And it's rare that he comes to you. But my other brother, on the other hand, he was the more softer. They're like my children. Like my baby Trey is like my brother, my other brother, who's the more dominant one. And then my oldest child is like this brother. Very passive, very soft, very gentle. You gotta handle them in a certain type of way. Their feelings get hurt easily. They're easily influenced, things like that. So my kids are like the exact of my brothers, right? So this brother I've known for, I never could prove it in my younger years when we were growing up that he was on drugs, but I always heard, around town that he used to be on drugs from the local crackheads or whatever that lived in our neighborhood, and they used to always say those kinds of things, but I never I never could prove it, and I was too young to really care back then. But I believe what I heard was true. And then his best friend was a crackhead. So what I believe, what I heard when I was a kid, I believed it. I just didn't have any proof of it, but I did believe it, right? So because this particular brother was always in and out of our lives. So he would be gone for years. I didn't even know until my adult years. He was gone for 4 or 5 years. I didn't see him. He was in prison. I had no idea he was in prison, but he was. So for years, it was said that he did dabble in certain things, but I didn't know exactly what it was, nor did I really care because I was so young. Fast forward to living out here in Las Vegas. It became kind of evident, especially by the women that he chose to date. Not saying all women is like this, but the particular women that my brother decided to date are white women, or the race of the Caucasian. So he chose to date the white women. And the white women exposed him to, he probably wasn't exposed to, but being with the white women, he definitely turned his maybe playful curiosity into a full-blown drug usage. Okay, so his wife, he married his wife. I don't think she was like a crackhead or a cokehead or anything. I think she was a pillhead. Well, I'm sure she was a pillhead. And she used to, be addicted to painkillers, which turned my brother into being addicted to painkillers. And then they used to try to, well, he did. He used to try to hide his usage, just by their behavior, just doing random cokehead shit. like my brother was so unhappy, like at the end of his marriage. Like, I was with my ex-boyfriend at the time. We used to go to my brother's house because they was really, really close. And I used to have my boyfriend just like go out there with my brother and like talk to him, because he would be crying and having a whole fit because his wife would just move in strays to their home all the time, like crackheads off the street, move them in and they stealing from him and stuff. And then him and his wife is getting to it. I get this, you want to open your home up to God knows who, but you got to stop doing that, love. Like, you got to stop doing that. Like, it's affecting your marriage. So, so his pill popping went on for some years, right? Before and I forgot how long they were married. I wonder why my thing keep doing it. Like, it keep going in and out. So, do y'all notice that? Like, I'll get darker and lighter and darker and lighter. But maybe it's the way, I don't know if it's the way it is. I don't know why it keep doing that. So anywho, so eventually they separated. They never got a divorce because they're technically still married, but they did separate because he met somebody else. That's what happened. That's just really what happened. He met another white woman, but this one was a white girl. She wasn't a white woman, and I think me and the girl was the same age. His baby mama now is the same age. So his wife was his actual age, but I am 36. My brother is 50 something. So, his girlfriend is like 30. His baby mama's 30. So when he started messing with this girl, he had the nerve to bring her to our house, right? To my house. Was I still living with my ex-boyfriend? I can't remember if I was still living with my ex-boyfriend or no. I had already got my own place. And they had came over with him and a new girl. And then he was like, he go try to lie and was like, we're not together. I'm just helping her out or whatever. Something like that. I'm like, I'm not gonna get in your business, and I'm not gonna tell you, which I should have. I should have snitched on his ass and told his wife. So that was on me, giving loyalty to my damn brother, knowing he was wrong as hell for bringing another bitch into my home when you're married is not okay. But I have loyalty to my brother, so I didn't say anything to his wife, but I should have. So anyway, eventually, for a moment, they were doing like really well because he had met her at their the job that they both was working at. They was both working at a restaurant. She was the waitress, he was the cook. They met each other, hit it off. She was she was an okay looking white woman. She was okay looking. I didn't know her like this, so I didn't know what she was into and all that stuff. I didn't hate her. I just, she was just another white woman. So in my opinion, I couldn't say anything bad about her because I didn't know her in the sense of what did she do in her personal life. I didn't know. But turns out she was on the white stuff. So I believe she's on the meth and still is. She's still on the drugs to this day, right? So they were doing so well at one point. They had a great place. They had their own place together. The job was cracking. You know, that if they had an issue with the drugs, they was hiding it real well because they had both had checks coming in. They were living real well for a moment. I was very proud of my brother. I was like, good for them. No matter what they did in their personal life, good for them. But the drugs eventually took them under. They took them under so bad, and it just looked so bad. It went on for years, y'all. For years, watching him just like disintegrate. Come over to my house just looking dirty and just looking crackish. Like it was so many times that they have like binges. Like this is one time I went over there. He called me because he'll like literally they'll be having this binge fight. They'll be getting real high. Then they'll have these shit. He'll get all paranoid and weird. Then he'll start calling my phone, talking about come get me. She calling the police on me. Come get me. You drive over there. He don't even remember what he called you about. He like what's going on? What's going on? Like after so many times, I was like, I'm not going over there. I'm like, and my sister called me like, go over check on your brother. I'm like, I'm not going over there. Do you know how many times he do this? Like when he come down off of his high. He ain't even gonna remember that he even called me. So she's like, no, just go over there for me and make sure he's okay. So I had went over there as I'm pulling up to there because they had an apartment. They lost that apartment. They started living into the suites out here. They lost the suites. They started living with their parents in the trailer, end up losing their trailers. I'm like, they then started living like hotel rooms for days at a time. Like, they stayed with me here, not long though, because I don't have enough room to house my brother, his girlfriend, all their shit too, their children and all that shit too. I love you, but I don't have a place to put you. I'm like, and then all of your issues, I'm not gonna deal with that. I have my own shit to deal with. And I'm definitely not finna deal with a grown man who's hooked on drugs and his girlfriend who got him that way. So if y'all want help, you get it yourself. So at first we were really trying to get my brother help. Like a few years ago, my other sister was calling the police to do like checks on them, so they pop up at their house, and we were gonna send him to rehab, and he rejected all of it. Like he rejected all of it at the height of their extreme highness. Like, you just want us to y'all just want me to leave her. That's not happening. Y'all want me to leave. That's not happening. I love her and we love each other. So like that's not what we try to do. We don't give a fuck about that bitch. Not a little bit. Not a little bit. This is about you. You losing yourself in this world. Vegas was the worst place that you could have moved to because you got hooked on these white women and they coke habits, okay? And they crack habits and they meth habits. Look at your teeth. Your teeth you don't got no teeth no more. You got this one missing this one. This one missing this one. This one missing this one. This one right here is thin as a motherfucker. You lost all your fucking weight. You was like 250 pounds. Looking like a linebacker. Now, you look like a bobblehead. This skinny with a big ass head on top of that. You don't see yourself. You can't keep no job. You don't got no money. You stealing from your family members. You took my laptop and sold it out of my home. You sold it. You stole your sister's. What did my sister say she stole? I think her PlayStation. If I'm not mistaken, he did steal her PlayStation. Like, you stealing from your sister just so your thirsty ass can get high. I'm like, this went on for so long. I had to ban him from coming over my house. And the last time he came over here in the middle of the night. It was like 1 or 2 in the morning. I get a knock on my door. My husband like, who the fuck is over here? I'm like, I don't know. He goes to the door. He's like, this your fucking brother. What do you want me to do? I was like, man. I let him stand out there for 45 minutes before he went outside. When I finally went outside, I'm like, what? And then he was like, I need your help. Just help me. I'm like, no. I asked my husband, I said, this one is up to you, because if it's up to me, I'm going to go in my house and lay back down and forget this ever happened, because he's not finna keep doing this to me. I'm like, I let him in my house, and then he'll stay here for maybe a day or two and tell me all this bullshit that he's done it with his white girl. And then once he's sober up, then he's right back over there. He'll ditch everything and be right back over there with the white girl so he can get high again. Don't nobody got time for that. Don't use my house as a place for you to lay your head for the night so you can get some goddamn sleep. No. Him and his little crackhead ass girlfriend hotboxed my bathroom. I went to work, came back. I was like, what the fuck is that smell in here? Them fucking 2 crackheads in there fucking getting high in my goddamn bathroom with my kids in their room. The fuck you think you doing? This is not your fucking house, you fucking crack fiends. Like, they were disrespectful. They hotboxed my car. I went in the 7-Eleven for a moment. These two crackheads, they tried. I literally picked him up from the hospital because he overdosed. He get in my car like this, like skinny in the motherfucker. I'm thinking she's the one in the hospital. No, his crackhead ass is the one in the hospital. Lost all his weight. They have the baby in the back seat. And in their minds, they really think nobody knew that they was on drugs. Like they was really hiding that shit. They was delusional as hell. Delusional as hell. So, back to that little one story. When I had pulled up to the house, I had my sister on the phone. I'm like, you're the only reason I'm over here. Because frankly, I don't give a shit about what the fuck these two doing. I pull up, this bitch is screaming to the top of her fucking lungs. To the top of her fucking lungs. I tell my brother to come the fuck up out of the house. She's young. I said, bitch, I'm about to go to jail today. Me and her start getting into it. My sister like, Regina, get in the car. She had to snap me out of it because I was finna beat that white bitch ass. I don't care for white people like that, sorry. But I don't. You have to be a special motherfucker for me to like you. I'm like, I don't have no issue with the race thing. Like, I'm not racist. But certain white people, I just don't fuck with it. She's one of them. You got my brother going down this whole, this path, and then they keep choosing your white ass. For you to keep doing what? You have not done better since you've been with these white bitches. You have done worse. You have done worse, and you have not seen that? And then after all this time, after all these years of you neglecting therapy, you neglecting, what do you call that thing? Rehab. You didn't want to go to rehab. You didn't want to do shit. After all these years, we watched you. We thought we was finna bury you. Maybe, a year or two ago. We literally thought we was finna bury that man. My brother came out here and was like, look, all you got to do is pack your bags, come back to St. Louis, I'll help you get on your feet. You don't have to get help. You can live with me. You don't have to do nothing right now. Just get yourself clean, get on your feet. No. They had a child. My niece is still in the system. My niece got put in the system, last year? Last year because these two crackheads, hotboxing, fell asleep. They leave the baby running up and down the street in the middle of the night. The neighbor finds the baby dirty, wet, unfed, unkept. These two crackheads up in here fucking and shit, getting high and fucking. And then what's even worse, they don't, when you're on drugs, you have no sense of, anything. There were so many times they didn't have electric. When it gets cold in Vegas, and people don't think it really get cold in Vegas, it don't get cold in the Midwest or New York kind of cold where it's below zero, but it do get cold enough in Vegas where you need a coat in the wintertime. You need heat in the wintertime. It do get cold enough for that, right? So imagine if it's cold like that. You in a trailer. You don't have no electric. You don't have no gas. You have a child that's between 1 and 2. You don't feel the heat. You don't feel the cold because you're high as hell 24 hours a day. But this poor child ain't eating, ain't drinking, getting neglected, getting ignored. I took my niece over there. His daughter came, wanted to see her father. I took her over there against my judgment, but that's what she wanted to see. Her father. They come out of the house. She look at her baby sister. It's freezing outside. She has on a dress, no pants, no nothing, no coat. She goes in there and starts yelling at her crackhead father. What the fuck? Why do you have my sister like this? It is cold as shit. She took the baby and put the baby in my car. That is pathetic. I think his daughter at the time was maybe 16 or 17. That's pathetic. That you so high on drugs that you don't even realize what you're doing to your baby. That you're neglecting your child. You're so high on drugs. You and your dusty ass, dirty ass baby mama. Just dusty. They hang around the dusty. They're always downtown around the crackheads and the prostitutes and all that shit. Get your life together. Get it the fuck together. This is pathetic after this point. So what made me really do this video was his daughter again just came in town, maybe like last weekend. And my sister, actually when he came and stayed with me for a minute, when my husband said yes, what I wasn't finna do, I wasn't finna chase him down. I wasn't finna do any of that. Okay? Well, as I said, I have my own family, my own issues, my own problems. What I'm not finna do is take on somebody else's. That's not what I'm finna do. So, I was trying to get him out of my house as soon as he got in it. So I'm trying to work something out with my sister. Like, look, do you want him? Because frankly, you have nothing to do. You have no man, no marriage, no kids. You're over there by yourself in a big ass condo. You have plenty of room for that man. He can be your project for the next however long you want him to be your project. He can fucking be your project. I just don't have the time. I have 2 kids, a husband, and 2 jobs. I have my own shit going on. I don't need no extra baggage. And that's right there would be extra baggage. She was playing around, right? She was playing around to get him over there. Up until the day he finally did what he usually do. Talk about it. He asked me for my car though. Can I use your car to go back downtown, wherever the fuck they was living at? I was like, nigga, you must be smoking crack if you think I'm finna give a drug head my goddamn car. I was in here laying down. My husband come in here like, your brother left. I'm like, he left what? She's like, he went walking. He said he'll be back tomorrow or something to get his stuff. I said, when he come back, make sure his stuff is outside. Tell him he don't need to come over my house. No. So somehow I got on the phone with my sister to tell her. Then she gonna start trying to yell at me like, go get him. I was like, I'm not going to get nothing unless I am going to pick him up to bring him to your house. Other than that, I'm not going to get nothing. I am not his mother. She tried to yell at me. It's your responsibility to make sure your brother's... It's not my responsibility to do a damn thing after he's almost 50 years old. He made the choice to be on crack. He made the choice to be on coke, and he made the choice to do meth. Now it's his choice to get help. We did everything we could possibly do and then some. You took his child for him at a period of time. They took the child from you and then gave it back to them crackheads to come and take the child again. Now the child is actually in the system because this time you said you weren't going to take him again. I couldn't get the baby when they tried to offer him to me. And then my sister down south couldn't get the baby because she lived out of town. I said I couldn't take the baby because I just don't have time for no infant. I can't take no baby full time. I'm like, so this is their fault. They're the parents. They put their children, their daughter, in the situation where they can't see that this child is being raised by somebody else. And are they trying to get themselves back on track? Hell no, not to get their daughter back. So for a moment, my sister was like, come on, bring him over here. That's what the fuck I called for. Bring him over here. So my husband took him over there. And for a while, he was doing okay because my sister was on him. And I was like, when his daughter came out here last week, I was like, oh, this is good because my brother lives with her. There is no way this would be the first time in years that he would be able to see his daughter sober. He's going to actually have a relationship with him. He can actually have a conversation with his daughter. You know what he do? He failed again. Somehow, some reason, he decided to call that crackhead girl up, get a hotel room for him and that crackhead to avoid seeing his daughter again. There was no reason, none, that he should not have spent those days with his daughter. You have not seen your daughter in years. You have not seen your daughter sober in years. You kept saying you wish Bunky was coming, the brother. That's not his biological son, but that's like our biological nephew because he's been around since he's been a baby. But that's not your biological son. Your biological daughter name is Brittany. And you couldn't put your pride aside. You couldn't put whatever this issue is that you had aside to spend time with your daughter You rush off for whatever reason to see the crackhead and to be with the crackhead. So you can go get binge high with the crackhead. I have no idea if my sister let him back in the house. The last thing I know of that she told him that he can't come back to her house no more. Come get your shit. But that could have changed by now. I don't know. But that was just very disappointing. I was seeing pictures on Facebook and I was wondering, why is he not in these pictures? Because his ass was never there. He took the fuck off. He took the fuck off. That was so disappointing. And Lord knows, if he's back in those streets, he's back doing that shit. He had a job. My sister had got him clean enough that he was actually able to get a job. He gonna get back on that shit and he gonna lose it all once again. Once the fuck again. And it's gonna be nobody's fault but his own. At this point, he is on his own out there. He needs help. I wish there was somebody who could help him full time. It's just not me. I just can't give him that. I can't invest that kind of time. I'm trying to put one of my kids in through high school and get him off to college in 2022. And that's coming like that. I'm trying to get him to turn him into an adult. Then I have a 13-year-old finna be 14. I have a marriage that I got to work harder to it every day. That shit is stressful. I'm holding down 2 jobs and trying to get a house this year. Maybe at the beginning of next year. I got a lot going on. And holding and trying to help a crackhead, meth head, cokehead is not on my things to do list. So I lost all trust and faith in my brother at this point of being a stand-up man, somebody you can count on, a good brother. I just don't believe he can ever be that. To his daughters, to his sisters, to his family. The only thing he's caring about is his drugs and that white girl. And it bugs the shit out of me when I be seeing shit like on social media. You know, that these white bitches is taking out black men. Bitch, you can have these little raggedy ass the men that y'all get, we don't want anyway. And I'm saying that about my fucking dusty ass brother. You can have him. Because he don't want shit better than what the fuck he got anyway. Because obviously, bitch, you ain't shit either. You ain't shit either. Look at you. You on drugs. If any of our black men want your white ass and you do the shit that you do, you don't got shit to offer but drugs and your probably your ass. You don't got shit else to offer. Bitch, you can have that low down motherfucker. Nobody want him anyway. So you didn't take nothing from us. He wasn't worth shit in the first place. So his worth shit ass and your worth shit ass can be worthless together. So I love him from afar, but he can never come to my house unless he's completely 100% clean. I would never do anything for him unless he's 100% clean. And he's gonna have to like step up. His daughter's finna be grown now. No, she is grown. His daughter's grown now. You have missed out on her entire fucking life. Even the bad stuff. And you wasn't there for that either. You failed as a father. And you're failing again as a father a second time. Because where's your second child? In the system. Why? Because you're too selfish to get clean to take care of your children. You and that crackhead ass bitch of yours. So I'm done with these 2 dust buckets. Both of you pathetic. Don't call me. Have a good day. So I'm going to end this video right here, right now. Because I felt my blood getting boiling. And if anybody can relate, I don't have the answer to their problems. I wish them well. You know, I wish them well. That's all I got for them. I wish them well. But if anybody can relate, if anybody have siblings like this, or anybody who knows somebody who's hooked on drugs, you know, please put in the comment section. Let me know. I'm interested in what you guys know and what you guys want to talk about. I'm interested, you know. And if how did y'all get y'all family members clean? If y'all even was able to get anybody clean, let me know. Let me know in the comment section. Hit that like button and hit that thumbs up button. And follow me on my social media. Keyshawn Maurice Robinson on Facebook. Sleepless and LV on Instagram. All right. I'll see you guys in the next one. And that one's going to be about me. I went in about him. Let's talk about me in the next one. All right. See you guys in a moment. Peace.